Okay, we're just pressing record and going for this then. Happy Saturday, everybody. I'm I'm just playing some Civ 5 right now, but there was a lot that I wanted to say after uploading this video yesterday. See, the last time I tried to upload a video that was faith-based, the reception from people I know made it abundantly clear to me that they thought I'd joined some kind of cult. And if you know me in real life at all, you'll know that that's not my vibe, because I hate institution. So if I hate institution, then why am I now coming out the closet as a Christian? It's because to me, Christianity is not an organised religion or an institution. To me, Christianity is a way of life, and compared to the life I was living before I was baptised, I could never go back to sleep about this. I think we all know the feeling of scouring the world trying to find some form of answer to the questions we have. Why is there suffering? Why is there death? Why can people be so cruel? What's it all about? Why are we here? Who made us? Where did we come from? There's a lot of argument going on out there in the world and the internet about who's right and who's wrong. This video isn't about that. I didn't just make this video for you. I made this video for me. In this very video, I state that I made it because I wanted to. And so in some ways, making this video now, it's me explaining to myself why I made my choice. I want to keep this as short as possible, because if I elaborated properly, we would be here for hours, but I want to keep this around 5 minutes. Where are we now? Where are we? About 2.25 minutes. Okay, so I've got 3 minutes to state my case. The elevator pitch for my faith. Cool? The 2020s have been a mess for a lot of people, have they not? We have all suffered collectively. But yet, even though we have suffered together, we are more divided than ever. And everyone has a take, and misinformation is rampant. People look to the world for some kind of understanding. I've been searching for those answers for years. And it's only this year that I have truly felt like I've found those answers. I am always someone that believes in kindness and mercy and patience and integrity and honour and a greater plan. Those are things that I have always believed, even when I didn't explicitly identify as a believer. But yet it always felt like the rest of the world didn't align with me. Oh, and above everything, truth. Truth and honesty. It's a very deceitful world, and out there, misinformation is more rampant than ever. So all we really have control over is this, in the truths we choose to accept. It just so happens that the truths I've been following are ones that have changed the world over the last 2,000 years, and have stood the tests of time. In a world like this, where death and decay are an unstoppable process, the fact that something like this has endured like this, when everything else has fallen, is exceptional to me. All of those things that I just listed, that I stand for, I found in the gospel. I was raised as a Christian, and then I turned away from faith in my teenage years, and then I put it back on as an adult in my own way. Because I didn't really understand it as a kid. I didn't follow it as a teenager, and I didn't believe it as a young adult. And then it all made sense. It's an indescribable process unless you have been through it. I would have to give you the step-by-step of the last half decade of my life to be able to convey how I got from point A to point B. But where I'm going with this is that the characteristics of Jesus Christ in the gospel reflect the very things that I have always believed my entire life, of honesty and integrity and anti-establishment. What I've learned about the world in this age of information and misinformation is that people do not know who Christ is. And now that my eyes are open, that breaks my heart. I'm literally on the verge of tears about it. And I'm someone that can't cry. So, everyone has role models. And everyone has idols. And these days it seems like people idolize celebrities who eventually are exposed for their own toxic behavior. But the characteristics of Christ, that is the person I want to imitate. Not Doja Cat, or Mr. Beast, or any of these people you could list. I don't know why those were the examples. Maybe that's just who the hip young folk relate to. But everybody, and I mean everybody, is flawed. Everybody has sins. Everybody's imperfect. But through learning the teachings of Christ, I have been able to apply those to my own life in ways that have made things so much easier to cope with. There are countless verses within the Bible that come to mind whenever I'm faced with a situation, and just like that, I get it. Previously, I was a chronic overthinker. It was like a feedback loop, and it would get louder and louder every day because I just didn't know what to do with the pain that I felt. And so, if I can close this with a thought, if I can close this with my understanding about what Christianity is all about, it's not a way to make money. It's not a way to dismiss any category of people. It doesn't discriminate against gay people or those that aren't white. It doesn't benefit the rich, in fact, the complete opposite. So if I have to summarize this, it's that the world is a broken place and we are a broken part of it. But we have been offered salvation for eternal life in a world that isn't broken, where you don't get hangnails and debt and motorbike accidents and disease. So how do you access that kind of place? And that's where Christ comes in. The whole point of Christ was about offering us a way out from death and suffering and sadness. How? By just acknowledging Him and trusting that when our time comes on this mortal world, that isn't the end, but the very beginning. It can be very easy to think from an outside perspective that faith is a placebo, and just because I believe these things, it helps. It does. But that doesn't do it justice on the degree that it does help. I imagine you've been told helpful advice in your life that sounds like it makes sense, but only if it did help. But you still have that emptiness within you, and that eventually that anxiety creeps back in. Life since baptism, I don't really get that in the same way. When I nourish the words of the gospel and apply them to my life, there is this spark, this tingling within me that is like, this is correct. And so the reason I want to make videos like this is because the truths I've been taught are things that I desperately want everyone else to know, because the world doesn't know them. There are so many people I know that suffer with the futility of life and seem to be met with an endless line of suffering. And there's so much I want to say to those people that would turn their view the right way up, but only if they want to listen. What I just said there is exactly what Christ is about. Christ doesn't want us to suffer, because so long as we believe and trust, we will be rescued from this. Not just when it's all said and done, but every day. Every day when we suffer, we can be rescued by this through understanding and wisdom and patience and endurance. I could go on for ages and ages and ages, but that is about the best I can do for the time being, and I hope it sheds some kind of light on what it's all about. Maybe these are all just words to you. Maybe I'm speaking in riddles. Or maybe it's just something that you don't agree with. I can't argue with that. See, there is a teaching in the gospel to take the log out of your own eye before dealing with the speck in your brother's eye. And what that means is that it's a lot more important to focus on working yourself out before telling other people what's best for them. Does that seem hypocritical that I'm spreading this? No, because I'm not telling you what's best for you. I'm telling you that there is a path that can teach you within yourself the things that you've been searching for all these years. I'm going to close this with a couple of recommendations. First of all, I recommend the YouTube channel Bible Project, because holy moly, man, it has so much that explains the world around us in a way that is digestible in the 21st century. You might think the Bible's full of thou shalt not, thou, 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 and all these medieval sounding words. But firstly, the Bible has been retranslated to modern tongue, but also the Bible Project channel in itself reflects a 21st century kind of, what's the word? What is the word? Education, I suppose. But with that, I'm going to put this video out there now. It's always a bit scary to put these takes out there. But the thing is, I feel so confidently that these words are put out there to help people and not to oppress them, that I just want to share that with you on the platform I know has people listening. I've thought about making a new YouTube channel for these, especially somewhere new, because this YouTube channel is one that I've been using before coming to faith, and it'd be nice to just put my creative projects on it, but for now I'll leave it at that. I hope Saturday's treating you well. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Part 2 of this video is coming out soon, by the way. I'm going to play some Civ first. You understand. Bless you. Have a good one.